In Australia, home buyers also awaiting a central bank policy decision tomorrow. A cut in rates could make a big difference in affordability. The government is already taking measures to ease the housing shortage, the latest being a 2-year ban on foreigners buying existing homes. Roger Maynard tells us more.
The ban on foreign property investment will be seen as a step in the right direction to help ease the housing shortage in Australia and will clearly benefit local buyers. But it's unlikely to have a major impact. Certainly it'll make it more difficult for overseas purchasers to buy into the Australian market. But in reality, it'll only free up around 1,800 properties a year for Australian buyers. However, it's the perception that counts, and the message here is that the government is seen to be doing something to solve the housing crisis, which is affecting so many Australians at the moment. Over the past few years, we've seen prices soar way beyond the capability of younger buyers to pay for first-time homes. At the same time, housing availability has tumbled and has clearly been exacerbated by record migrant numbers. That's put added pressure on the rental markets, with prices going up around 20%. That's assuming you can even find a place to rent. Public dissatisfaction with the overall problem is likely to dominate this year's general election campaign. And that's why both the major parties are supporting the ban on foreign purchases of existing homes, which will last for the next 2 years and possibly longer. The Housing Minister, Claire O'Neill, said the latest initiative was a small but important part of the government's broad housing agenda, which also includes shared equity schemes and tax incentives for developers. The aim is to build 1.2 million new homes by 2030. The current housing shortage in Australia has been a major contributor to the rising cost of living here, with interest rates causing a big headache for homeowners. That may be slightly eased tomorrow, when the Reserve Bank is expected to reduce rates by 25 basis points to a cash rate of 4.1%. It's not much, but it would certainly make those monthly mortgage payments a little more bearable. Most economists are predicting at least 2 cuts this year as a result of reduced inflation, which has now fallen to 2.4% compared with nearly 8% in 2022. If that happens, it'll be welcome news for Australia's Labor government, which has to hold a general election by May of this year. Indeed, Prime Minister Anthony Albanese may even be tempted to go to the country in April if the RBA decision is favourable. So a lot is riding on this week's economic news, both from the government's point of view and the population as a whole. Roger Maynard, CNA, Sydney.